I just threw up.
Exhale fear.
What's up YouTube fam? It's your girl Tajanel Chinyere and I'm back with another video, and today I'm super excited because I'm going to be sharing with you guys finally my birth and delivery story. It's been a long month and I think it's time. I'm going to actually reveal baby girl's name, tell you guys everything that I can remember about that day. So if you are interested in some content like that, definitely keep on watching. But before you do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, join the family. And yeah, let's get this video started. Okay, so let's get into this birth story. If you want to fast forward to that specific time, I'm going to leave like some cards or a timestamp down below. So click that if you want to just go straight to, you know, all the fun stuff. But I'm about to tell you guys a little bit of background story and a couple of disclaimers. So I have had a prior birth and delivery, meaning I have a son, he's 4 years old. So I've experienced this before. I have planned to have a natural birth with him. That didn't go as planned. So I did have an epidural before, so I know what that feels like. My friend was actually my doula before, so she was in training at the time, but once she got to us with my son, she made a world of difference. So honestly, she is the one that convinced us to have a doula this time. And just one more thing, I am going to show footage as we go along, but like I said, this part of it is just for me to, you know, help you guys understand where I'm at, what was going on in my head, you know, leading up to the birth and delivery of my baby girl. So what did it feel like specifically leading up? I felt prepared mentally because I did a lot of things to ensure that I could have a natural birth. Meaning we did hire a doula, like I said, and she was a huge help. Like, I recommend hiring a doula, hiring help, period. But yeah, she was a huge help in my mental prep as well as physical prep. She had so many recommendations. She came to us and, you know, went over a lot of things. She also helped my husband. We are a military family, so my husband wasn't here the first time with my son. So this was very, very special for the both of us. So I'm so excited, so glad that he was here. You guys are gonna see him and his natural raw reaction to everything that went down. But yeah, I was so grateful that she was there to help him understand what would happen and things like that as well. And what I did to prepare was, like I said, I did hire a doula. She recommended that I use an exercise ball. And I did that every single day, y'all. Like, it was probably maybe a week's worth from the time we hired her till the time I delivered, where I did not use the exercise ball. So that was like, I pretty much used it every day. And I've shown that what I've done on my social media platforms. So definitely follow me on all my social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, of course here, subscribe. But yeah, I use the exercise ball every day. My son kept me active. If y'all know any 4-year-old boys, they're gonna keep you active, okay? And yeah, like, I would also do yoga sometimes. I would mostly stretch pretty much every day. We went to the track because I am a track athlete at heart, and he would run around, I would walk. He did have me run a few times. If you guys follow me, trust me, you will know exactly what I'm talking about right now. But towards the end, I just had to walk. I also obviously took supplements, so, you know, like the prenatal supplements, and I'm taking that as well postnatal, postpartum. But either way, I took prenatal supplements. I also took some, I think, vitamin D. I think a little bit of vitamin D prior to delivering her. But I also was looking into a few things that social media had influenced me on. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. The okra water, I was like, baby, we're gonna try every single thing. So I did use okra water, and they said to start that at like around 37 weeks. So that's what I did. And I do think it had, you know, some contribution. Now, okra water does not induce labor or anything like that. It actually has way more benefits. My cousin, she said that she has diabetes, and she saw that okra water actually helps with that. So I was like, hey. So typically okra water, they said for mothers who are expecting, it should help with the baby to slide out a little bit easier. So that's why I was taking it. And I just replaced it with my normal water intake. So however much water you drink throughout the day, you could just replace it like that. And typically the way I did it, you can just use okra and then add the water and then let it sit 24 hours in the refrigerator and then drink it after that. Or what I did, because that water is slimy and the texture was not my forte. So they said to add some frozen fruit, and that's exactly what I did. I think it tastes much better. The texture does not change necessarily, but the fact that the flavor did help me out a whole lot. So I enjoyed that. I also used the evening primrose oil. You can take that orally or vaginally. I've seen a lot of women just do the vaginal part. They said that you can also like break it and just use the oil and rub it on your, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, but your perineal, I think that's how you say it. But it's pretty much the area that's like the lowest right before it connects to your butt. I don't know if I'm describing this correctly, but pretty much that. And it's like a U. Y'all look it up, okay? But yeah, so I would rub on that. My doula also recommended to eat dates. And so I think I started eating dates around 30 weeks, maybe, yeah, probably 30 to 33 weeks. And she recommended like about 3 to 4 whole dates a day. And then around 36 to 37 weeks, go up to 6 dates a day. And y'all, them dates are huge, okay? And it's kind of hard to like try to get them all in. I did my best. I found mine at I think, yeah, it was at Publix. I found dates at Publix. It doesn't necessarily matter if they're whole or crushed, because I had both. The crushed I would put like in my oatmeal, and I would just eye it, to be honest, because I knew I was going to eat the whole ones. So I would just eye it, try to put as much as I could in the oatmeal. But yeah, that is supposed to like help with labor as well. I also took the raspberry leaf tea. I know you guys have heard that as well. That's supposed to help with labor as well. And you're supposed to take, I think, 2 cups a day. So I would take one in the morning, one at night before I go to sleep, and I would just try to remember as much as possible. And I believe I started doing that maybe around 34, 35 weeks. But yeah, y'all, weeks go by quick, especially after 30 weeks. It goes fast because baby. And of course, like I said, I stayed active. So you know, I just continued my day in motion. I tried not to stay in bed. There were days where it was so hard, y'all. Like there were certain days where my back was just hurting so bad. So I did tell that to my midwife, and she gave me a birth belt. And pretty much it's just kind of like a back brace. And it holds your belly up and helps like kind of just support your back a little bit better. So yeah, I had some hard days. My head would hurt a little bit. And it was just, it's difficult. Everybody has their challenges during their own experience and journey. So yeah, I just feel like anytime you feel something, you know something's off, speak up and say something about it, because there are things that can be done to help. It may not resolve everything all completely, but it can help you to get to your final destination, which is to have a healthy baby, for you to be healthy as well as you're delivering the child. So yeah, definitely speak up and, you know, use all that you can. I was also introduced to hypnobirthing during my first birth and delivery by my sister-in-law, and I read up on it a little bit, but I didn't really use it as much. So this time I try to make it like a point to do way more, and I think it helps. I use bits and pieces, so I enjoy the concept of it. I would definitely look that up if I were you, if you're like interested in that. I think it would help mentally, especially if you're somebody that your threshold for pain is very, very low. Definitely try hypnobirthing. It's safe. It's not like you're getting hypnotized. It's something that you train your mind to do during those type of periods or spouts in your life. And I think that helped me throughout my contractions. So yeah, definitely look that up. I also was recommended to, you know, listen to positive birth stories and things like that. So when I would go on YouTube, I would listen and look up, even on podcasts, you know, stories about women who specifically wanted a positive environment. I think this whole entire thing is just about mental preparedness, and I was very very adamant about keeping focus and, you know, helping myself this go around, because I was determined that I wanted a natural birth. And then the last thing is I read the natural birth book, and I think it's how to have a natural hospital birth. I think that's the name of the title. I can't remember the author, but that book helped me write out my plan, and I'm so grateful. It's so hilarious though, because I couldn't even use my plan specifically, but it walks you through how to envision your dream birth, how you want your delivery to be like, and who's going to be there, all of that. It makes you like really dive deep into what you can do. Even, you know, let's say you don't have the resources, you don't have the people that you really want there. It makes you like dream big, and then it helps you to narrow it down to what you can actually do in your current situation. I definitely recommend that book as well. This is last week. I know I have not been vlogging. I'm honestly in the middle of doing my hair. Oh, and by the way, my name is Tajanel Chinyere. Just in case you guys are new here, definitely hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. But yeah, y'all, so a lot is changing. Obviously, me and baby girl are ready, and yeah, we're just getting things ready around here. It looks a little crazy. Right now I'm home alone. Josh and JJ actually just left like not too long ago, and I'm just about to eat me something really quickly. But yeah, I just want to hop on here, let y'all know it is May 30th, okay? What, May Eve? Let me shut up. It's the day before the last day of May. So for those of y'all that don't know, I am due June 6th, which is also my mommy's birthday. And yeah, I am planning to vlog my entire experience. So this is going to be very interesting. I have a 4-year-old son, and my experience with labor and delivery with him, you know, is pretty different than the one that I'm planning on having this time. So yeah, like my husband was deployed. You know, I was back home in North Carolina while he was deployed. So I had a lot of support though. My mother-in-law and my mom were in the delivery room. Josh was on FaceTime. Everything went pretty well, except I wanted to go natural, just like I want to do that this time, which I'm going to do this time. But things went a little left. But yeah, so during this time, y'all will probably see me laboring for real, because honestly, I've been having Braxton Hicks for, I want to say, probably a good 2-3 weeks now. I've felt like they've been coming on more and more strong, which obviously we're getting closer to the due date. And then my last OB appointment, she said I am 2 to 2.5 centimeters dilated already, which if you had a child before, you should know, like, that could mean something or that could mean nothing. So I mean, I'm glad the process is started, but yeah, that could very much so mean absolutely nothing. So I'm just trying to, you know, make sure my body is relaxed and prepared for when she is ready. We've been getting a lot of requests as to which day, because a lot of our family members are born between the end of May and beginning of June, and everybody wants her to be born on their special day. So we will see. But yeah, I'm super excited to meet baby girl. This is just, I just wanted to share with you guys how things are going right now. I feel pretty okay. And I'm sorry this is long-winded, but yeah, so far, like I said, I can feel that my body is going through and it's changing. Like, it's getting harder and harder to get out of the bed. I'm like double, even more, using the bathroom. Yesterday I slept wrong. My head was hurting. It's still kind of slightly hurting. And yeah, I'm just living, just waiting, because I'm not waiting around like, you know, bed rest. I am still literally up and moving and still doing me planning things. You know, I still got content to give to brands and all of that. So we are very much normal in the best way that normal can be right now. But yeah, so I'll probably update you guys throughout the day, definitely throughout the next few days. But y'all will definitely be experiencing what this labor and delivery is like. So stay tuned. Okay, so now we are at the juicy part, the part we have all been waiting for, my birth and delivery story. So first of all, I want you guys to know that contractions, I'm going to call them surges. You can name them whatever you would like, and that's just a recommendation, but I called my contractions surges. That's, again, a mental thing. So here we go. I had Braxton Hicks contractions probably for about a month. So the day before I felt pretty normal, nothing different. The day of, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I felt contractions just like any other day. And I was like, all right. So typically what I do if I feel contractions, wherever I am, I practice how I'm going to labor. My surges were coming pretty, I mean, they felt normal. They felt like any other time. So I decided to go into the shower and just practice laboring there. And I was in there for maybe like 30 minutes, and then I felt like it was increasing. My surges were increasing. But then I just felt like, okay, maybe I should, you know, try somewhere else if this is going to continue on. So about like 5 a.m. I was still in the shower, and I was just like, okay, this is not leaving. So I banged on the wall to wake my husband up because he couldn't hear me call out to him. And I said, I just want you to know that I'm having contractions. I just, you know, want you to know that. And he was just like, okay. So by then though, he's up. So he's up walking around and things like that, trying to get his mind right. But of course, I dried off and everything like that. And I went over to the toilet just to use the bathroom, and I felt another surge come. So that's when I kind of knew, and that's around like 5 a.m. That's when I kind of knew, okay, this might be the real deal, because they're coming quite frequently, but I wasn't timing anything. And so that's also when I decided to time it. I actually showed footage of me recording myself because I wasn't sure how this was going to go. And after that, it just kept coming and coming and coming. So I told Josh, you know, start timing me because I don't know what's happening. What's up, you guys? It is 5:03 a.m. on May 31st. And I think I'm having mild contractions still. But that's why I'm like swaying. But they're not lasting long. And yeah, they're just not lasting long. It feels kind of similar to with JJ when I was contracting with him. So I'm like by the toilet. I've been in the shower. And I'm just trying to stay mobile. Like, that was probably like, what, 10 seconds? But I can feel it, so this is fairly similar to JJ's. I don't know why it's like this. And this absolutely does not mean that I'm like about to hit into active labor or anything. But I have to pay attention still. So I've been up since around 4. So it's been happening for like an hour, but it's, like I said, the duration of it is like anywhere from 10 to maybe 30 seconds. And then they're coming frequently. So like once every minute or two. So just trying to make sure I'm staying mobile because it feels like gas, which is a great practice. Just in case you guys ever feel that way, that's a great practice if you feel like you got a lot of gas. I would practice moving and things like that. So my surges, so if you don't know, typically they say it's 1-5-1, so it should last for 1 minute and they should be 5 minutes apart and then 1 minute again, like that. But mine weren't doing that, and I had a similar experience with my first child. And so I was just like, okay, my body's just kind of different. But it was crazy because my surges were all over the place. Like, there was never a 1-5-1 for me. So by 6 a.m., we decided to call my doula. And you guys will see, even before then, me like really going into it. I'm trying to use my exercise ball as much as I can. And yeah, it's just getting harder and harder. So I just threw up. And that's a big indicator for me because I threw up with JJ as well. But I think baby girl is coming today. I even peed on myself. That's just the real deal. And I know I peed on myself because I could kind of like control it. But as I was throwing up, it was like it would come splurge out. So I don't think my water is broken. Ooh. But yeah, right now the contractions are coming anywhere between 2 minutes and my longest now is like 6 minutes, and it's still going on like anywhere between 25 to 45 seconds or 50 seconds. So yeah. This is interesting. A little different from JJ, but I think she coming today, y'all. I really do. And it's funny, I have a dentist appointment today and the OBGYN appointment today. You see, that didn't last long at all. Oh. So, yeah, we will see how this goes. So once we call my doula, she's kind of, you can tell she's kind of skeptical as well. But the one thing I love about our birth story is that my doula, my husband, and I, we are all believers. We believe in Christ. We believe in Jesus Christ. And we believe that his spirit was definitely leading us throughout this entire process. Because, you know, Josh didn't have any experience with birthing at all with us. This is my second child, but this is my first time doing it naturally. Even with the laboring, because beforehand we went straight to the hospital and I kind of labored at the hospital. This is at home, and we were trying to stay home as much as possible. But even with our doula, she's a believer as well, and she had never delivered a baby. So, you know, even with her knowing that she's going to help us, the way we were sounding and the times that was happening with my surges, she was like, this doesn't seem normal from her experience. But she was led by God to just come anyway. And y'all, I'm so glad. I'm so glad she left when she did, because in no time, I'll tell you, it was over. So it was around like 6:30 a.m. and pretty much she calls my husband and is talking to him a little bit. Mind you, I need y'all to understand, I don't have recollection of a few things. My husband actually had to like catch me up to speed because I had no idea about certain things that happened. I'm so glad he recorded what he could record because I had no idea about certain things. But yeah, around 6:30, she calls us and she's saying, hey, I'm halfway there. You know, how's Tay doing? And she's talking to me and she's seeing my face, and oh yeah, so she FaceTimed us. She sees my face, she sees I'm kind of scrunched up and tight, so she's trying to help me to relax, breathe long, deeply down, and you know, do everything that we practice. And I'm so glad she reminded me of that, because that's all I needed was her to remind me of those things, because I would practice all the time how to breathe, how to relax my body, what that should feel like and things like that. But during surgeries, you guys, you're gonna need somebody to remind you. So around 7 or 7:15 she comes, and by that time you guys will see me and my husband have moved to the living room, and we're doing everything there, what we've practiced and all that stuff, and it's going pretty well. The only difference is, and my husband will tell you this as well, is that pretty much what we've practiced is not going to plan, which is a good thing. You know, you do what's best for you in that moment, but you practice for any and everything. So meaning, the way we practice is I would labor like on the couch. So they tell you to just keep moving, and that's what I was trying. I did keep moving throughout the entire thing. But my husband, how we practice is he would massage my back or like help me in certain ways, certain positions. And how it turned out was I was hanging on to him instead of the couch. But I think it's just because I need like that interaction, that touch, that type of support during a hard time. And I'm so grateful that he could hold me up, because I was putting my weight on him. It was so funny, like looking back at it. But yeah, so I was holding on to him, and I would just bend very low, very slow, try to move as much as I could. And so yeah, she got there around 7:15, and she just pretty much took over. She let Josh have a break, and he was preparing. My husband did so great, you guys. I have to brag about him, because he did phenomenal. I'm so grateful that he was there with me. But yes, he was making sure I was drinking my water, which you guys will see. He was making sure I was keeping it moving and things like that. And it was so funny, because I truly thought that we were not going to be ready enough, but that's just the athlete in me. Like I want to be over ready. Like I want to be over prepared. And so we did great. He did phenomenal.
Guys, we're gonna have the baby here in the house. Oh my gosh.
Even with him encouraging me, you guys will hear him, you know, calling out to me saying, I'm doing good, babe. And, you know, what do I need? All of that. He ensured that my son was taken care of, that we had somebody to watch him. Like I said, my water intake was there. Even when it came down to me delivering, he was right there. He did great. So by the time the doula came, you know, she was great as well, obviously, but she took over very naturally. She tended to me specifically, which I love, because sometimes people don't understand that certain things don't work for everybody. So I made sure prior to that, I made sure she knew I'm an athlete. In the times where it's the toughest for me, remind me of what I trained for. And that's what she did. Like, she was just saying, no, you're doing great. You're doing great. Remember, you practiced this. You were made for this. She said so many different encouraging words, as well as being there physically for me. Let's come in. Start. Oh, Jesus.
in slowly. You got this. Exhale fear. Breathe in strength. Exhale that fear. Breathing your baby down. That's it.
All right, cool. Got it.
I'm so excited to
Like 8 to 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Did she have any bloody show? Any blood in the toilet or anything?
No.
No blood in the toilet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I always gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. You feel like trying to poop?
It's a minute on and a minute off.
Is it constant or is it both the way in between? Okay.
Think she wants. And make sure I'm there.
That's it.
There you go, baby. Yeah, I will. I'll keep you updated. Hey. No, you're fine.
You're doing amazing. Okay. That's okay.
Oh, I gotta use the bathroom. Sorry.
No, it's
No,
okay.
stop. You're all right. Breathe.
Do y'all have the bathroom?
Yeah.
We're probably gonna go ahead and go.
Okay.
Some Mexican markets.
15 minutes. 20, 15, 20. I'll take this back.
And so around, I want to say 7:30, maybe it was close to 8, she could tell that my surges were getting a little bit closer. So I think I was having like 45 second to a minute contractions, and they were maybe like, I don't know, like a minute apart, 2 minutes apart. So that was quick. You guys gotta understand, like I could not catch my breath. And that's when she knew, okay, she might be about to deliver this baby here. So let's move. And so she made that decision. She told Josh, you know, let's get the car going. Let's grab everything that we can and just head out the door. Well, this is where it gets interesting. My husband's walking me down our stairs and out to his car, which is right outside our house. We get to his car and I remember screaming. And so he's telling me that in his head, he's like, okay, yeah, so this is really about to happen. So we need to get to the hospital. You guys, I could not sit down. And for those of you guys that don't understand that, there's a saying that says, if you feel like you have to poop, then you probably have to push. Because that's pretty much the similarity that everybody's gonna feel when they're delivering a vaginal birth, is that you're gonna feel like you have to poop. So I said I can't sit down because you know, it's kind of like, and I don't want to be, you know, too much, but if you have to poop and it's a big one, then yeah, you're not gonna want to sit down. In fact, you're gonna want to get on the toilet. And that's what I just kept saying. I was like, no, I have to poop. And that was an indicator for my doula. She was like, okay, yeah. So she asked my husband how far away the base was, or the hospital was that was on the base. And he said about 20 minutes, maybe 15, you know, we would probably get there quicker. And she said, no, I don't think she's going to get there. And you guys, I screamed so loud. I woke up our neighbors. I learned later on that our neighbors next door to us, she's actually pregnant as well, and her mom was looking out the window, and Josh had just lifted me up to carry me inside the house, and so they saw that whole thing. They thought it was so cute and stuff. So pretty much that's what happened. I could not get in the car, so they decided that we were just going to have baby girl inside the house. So we immediately was, you know, put back in the house, and she instructed Josh to call 911. All I remember is my doula speaking to me in my ear and telling me exactly what to do, how to breathe, how to push. And I do remember the EMTs coming. I don't remember what they were saying. I heard one thing that one of the EMTs said. He said, let's try to get her on her back over here. So I'm thinking either I thought he was trying to get me to the bed or trying to get me on his truck. And that was not happening because, like I said before, I couldn't sit down, let alone lay down on my back at this point. I was like, absolutely not.
All right. I'll go grab him.
That's it.
All right, baby, I'm with you over here. January 27th. You're right.
Stretch those tissues.
Probably ought to get her on the back. All right, baby. You heard him? You need more pillows.
No! Leave me alone! And that's not how I practiced delivering her. So that's actually something that you guys should like look into as well if you are preparing. Is how you want to deliver your baby. Like what's more comfortable. And for me, it was either going to be on my knees or like something upright, but not on my back. Like that was just not going to be it for me. And I yelled at him. I said, leave me alone or something like that. I'm going to insert the footage. Obviously, like y'all are seeing all of these things, but yeah, I told him to leave me alone or don't touch me, something. I don't know. He got the picture though. And pretty much he passed the baton off to my doula. He said, hey, look, we're going to be under your leadership. So whatever you want to do, we're here. If something goes left or if you need help in any way, let us know. And from there on, we all just relied on God. Like, and that's what she was reminding me too. She was saying, you know, God is here with us and we're going to deliver this healthy baby. And Tay, you can do this. This is what I want you to do. I want you to breathe deeply. I want you to push down, things like that. And it's just crazy what your body can do on its own. But like I said, I needed her to remind me of what my body could do. And that experience was so supernatural, you guys. Like I still can't believe I delivered my child here. And yeah, I remember right before I pushed her out, my doula had said, okay, there's her head. And immediately in my head, I just thought of, she needs to breathe. So for some reason, for me personally, I just thought she would not be able to breathe in the canal area. And I said, I need to push her out. And so I took one last deep breath and I pushed and I pushed, and I felt like this relief when she came out, and then I felt her shoulders come out. So like the relief was with her head, and then I could feel her shoulders just dig, 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 dig. And it was such like a still moment. And I tell everybody this, like literally once she came out, I heard my doula was like, oh, and I think my husband said, like, kind of gasped as well. And I saw her face, and me and her like locked eyes, and she blinked a little bit, and it was just like a still moment. Like I felt like time had just stopped. And just like that though, time kept going. And yeah, of course we were trying to get her to breathe, talk to us, anything. So you'll hear me saying, come on baby girl, you got something to say to mommy, and you know, all that stuff. And she started crying, and everything from there was just like so great. Like I can't believe, like I said, like I did that, but I did, and y'all can do it too.
I don't know how long it'll take, but it's coming.
Shoot!
Copy.
there.
Oh.
Keep pushing.
Ooh.
That's your head. It's coming.
I'm actually dry her off with that wet towel. We'll put her in this.
Push, Tay. Push.
Ah.
Push, Tay.
I am pushing.
Her head is out, Tay. Her head is all the way out. Okay? Push.
One more big one. There you go, darling. Yeah, way to go.
840.
Write that down.
Don't pull her up. I'm gonna get a towel. You did it. Pat her back.
Hey, mama.
There you go,
Come
mama.
on, mama.
Hey, baby girl.
Your placenta's gonna come out next.
Okay.
Oh, you want to cut?
Hey, look at your baby.
I'll tell you when and where.
Cut is right here. Right in the middle? Yep. 3. It's tough. 2. It's tough. It won't get tough. I got it here.
Or if you can sit down.
Yeah, I can get it.
I'm just so grateful everything went smoothly, because I am very aware that a lot of people lose their lives, a lot of babies lose their lives trying to do a natural birth, period, even if it's in the hospital. But even doing this at home, and you know, all I had was my doula, my husband, and the EMTs that were there. God, you know, kept us through that whole entire thing, and I'm so grateful to still be healthy, because you know, a lot of women they go through a very strenuous change after the birth, and I'm very appreciative. I'm very grateful for that entire experience. But yeah, that's pretty much like the gist of the entire story. And right after that, you know, we did go to the hospital. I think I felt so emotional once I got into the EMT, because I think like reality set in on me that everything had happened, like, and I did cry. I remember my doula was closing the EMT door, and she was like, "I'm right behind you, I'm coming, I'm right behind you." And I was just like in awe. Oh, another backstory is the EMTs that was there, they were a little nervous. My husband had said because they had just did another delivery prior to me, and I don't know how long ago this was, but yeah, they delivered a stillborn, and you know, that's never anything good. So I'm grateful that they got this experience, which I think is why, you know, I was just overall just overjoyed about the entire process, because God works in that way. Like, he wants to give beauty for ashes, you know, he wants to give us hope and all that stuff. So even the things that stress us out, or that, you know, just make us discouraged or disappointed, he'll turn around and say, "Hey, I'm still here and I'm still for you." And there were just so many moments where God was there. He was showing evidence that he was there the entire time. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I am going to explain everything that happened afterwards. So we did, like I said, go to the hospital, and we were greeted by the best team, y'all. I wish I could have gotten like a recording of all of them. I wish I could have gotten a picture. Honestly, I thought about that afterwards. I was like, dang, I wish I could have like gotten a picture with them. But they, as soon as I came in, like, they greeted me with so much joy, and you know, they were amazed that like I had the baby at the house, and they were impressed by my doula and by my husband, and they were so helpful. And for me personally, that's a big thing, because if you are a military family, sometimes you hear negative stories, and I heard plenty of negative stories dealing with hospital births on base. And I'm so grateful that my experience was good. Even though I didn't get to deliver her at the hospital, I'm so grateful that I could still have that experience to share with you guys, you know, what happens afterwards. And they were on it. Like, they were checking vitals and cleaning her up, asking me questions, and they asked my permission about certain things, which also showed me where my doula was, because they would ask me permission about something and she would try to explain what they're asking, or if I know about what they're asking. And so it was a lot happening, but it was so great. And so there's also, I don't know if you guys know this, but you also have to deliver your placenta. So that has to come out too. And the entire time it was still inside of me, and I felt a little discomfort. It wasn't bad, but I felt a little discomfort on the way there, and it's supposed to just come out on its own, but for some reason mine just was like chilling inside. And that can be a high risk type of thing too. I'm not sure how long it's supposed to be in for, but they say within minutes sometimes it can come out, or you know, it might take a little longer. I'm not even sure. But once they helped me deliver that, let me tell you, it was beautiful. I felt great. I was like, oh my gosh, because it felt like I was still going through my surges, which is a good thing, because you want your body to still push that out. And that's what was happening. It's just my body was still like, all right, we got to get this last thing out. And I was just like, why do I feel uncomfortable a little bit? But yeah, that was the very last thing. And then you'll see we go into our official, I think it's mommy and baby room or something like that. And I was up walking and everything. Like, it was amazing, because my experience with having an epidural, you know, you can't walk for a while. It takes a good minute for you to get feeling back. And even once you get feeling back, you still don't feel the same. And I think it took me even about maybe like a week or two until my body kind of felt normal. And for some people it takes a few months maybe, but yeah, epidural was no joke regardless. But yeah, I was up and moving, and you know, I felt like I had just rode a horse, you know what I'm saying? Like, my pelvis felt wide, and I was like, okay. But other than that, like, it was such a great experience. The only other thing is baby girl had jaundice, so that's one reason why we had to stay at the hospital. I believe it was for 3 days, and even after we got home, we had to like keep her in the sun and things like that. But other than that, y'all, everything has been beautiful. Everything has been great.
Upset.
She's hungry.
You think he messing with
Sorry. I just.
What? You want to bring it?
09:58 minutes to the vital signs on baby. Okay? So be back in 20 minutes to the another vital signs. Thank you.
You want me to get you something?
Congratulations.
Thank you. You want to go first?
Congratulations.
And I'm so glad I get to share this with you guys finally. But yeah, let me let you guys know what her name is. My baby girl's name is Amira Joyelle Goodwin, and I'm so glad that she's here. I'm so grateful that we can attach this story to her and tell her it over and over again. Tell it to her husband in the future, you know, her kids and things like that. It's been a great experience. And just to close, I do recommend having a natural birth if you can. I do recommend that regardless, preparing your mind, not preparing necessarily your body first, but prepare your mind for anything to go down, which is why I recommend the hypnobirthing or positive birthing, because that is what it's going to take. And if you're an athlete, I think you get that. If you're somebody who has been in the trenches in any kind of way, you'll get that. But if you're somebody that has like, you know, it's just has anxiety, or it just has a very low pain tolerance, prepare your mind. And this goes across the board regardless of anything. If you've never experienced delivering a child or carrying a child, to its full term, or to any term, to be honest, I definitely highly recommend preparing your mind. And this includes those of you who know you're going to have a C-section, or those of you who, you know, like me, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't even know I was going to have an at-home birth. But yeah, preparing your mind does so much wonders. It gives you hope, it gives you encouragement. But yeah, you guys, that is my birth and delivery story. I hope you guys enjoyed it all. Definitely leave me some questions and comments down below. I love interacting with everybody. So you guys are gonna get some hearts from me. You guys are gonna, you know, see me comment back. But I'm so glad that I could share this with y'all. Like, I'm still in awe. I don't know, I'm in a little disbelief, but this is all to show and to say to you guys that you can do it too. You can have your own successful birth and delivery story. And yeah, I'm very grateful. I want to just, you know, thank God as well for being there since the very, very beginning, and for setting me up the way he has. But yeah, you guys, if this is your first time here, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. Enjoy the family, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye.